Hey guys, welcome again to the second episode Pocho Trainer podcast. Today I'm gonna be talking with Coach Manny, who is my first coach of gymnastics, and Kevin Sanchez, my brother. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you today? Nice to meet you
Y-
again.
Is everything okay? Just stuck in home today because we are with a big storm in New York, and what's perfect, being home and just talk with you guys.
No, I'm not at home. I'm just keep working on and teaching.
Nice guys. So I'm gonna start just talking about a little Coach Manny. So then we're gonna talk a little bit with Kevin, and today we're gonna talk about fundamentals, how it's about gymnastics, and some fundamentals about exercising. Okay, it's not just about fitness. This podcast I'm doing now is about movement. Is about how our body is designed to do different activities. Okay, it's not just uh, go to the gym and do some kind of exercises. No, it's how you use your body and you get different skills. Okay, so Coach Manny, tell me something about your background, your resume. What are you doing now in the fitness industry?
Yeah. I don't do gymnastics. First of all, I am gymnastics.
Okay.
Second, my legacy is gymnastics and movement because my dad was one of the first gymnasts in the country,
Similar
and
as that.
with that, I had 25 years of experience coaching gymnastics and competing in the world level.
Cool.
The Society in Gymnastics consider me as a lead competitor, and right now I am doing clinics offering assessment and consultancy around the world, especially for coaches to prepare champions also. So there's some experience to share, and I would like to um, talk right now about gymnastics, fitness, and movement.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I met you like 15 years ago, and you was my first coach. That's why I'm just invite you to talk and just share a little more information about movement and gymnastics. For me, it's really fundamental how you learn when you perform some gymnastics. uh, could be exercises, just movement. Okay, Kevin, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. All right. So my name is Kevin. I am Francisco's brother, as many of you guys know. My background: I've been a martial artist since I was 3. Both my parents, were very competitive in Ecuador. That's where I migrated from at the age of 10. Both of them were very competitive, and the background that they had in martial arts was what kind of got me interested in understanding how movement and kind of functional patterns, and that's what kind of led me into the fitness industry. Having that background in martial arts was what made me very unique, and that's something that my brother and I are very connected, and that's what we kind of want to inspire, and that's where I am now. I'm working in the fitness industry, and same way, teaching group classes, kind of maintaining the martial arts. I'm still teaching, so that's where I kind of am now.
Nice. Yeah, so we have different specialties or different, kind of sports. But, as I was talking before with Coach Manny, I told him like we are not typical trainers, like a personal trainers. So we experienced some different activities, and that's why I'm is like trying to share with you guys that it's not just about fitness, it's about the skills, it's about movement. So the topic today is about fundamentals. So we're gonna talk about a little bit fundamentals in gymnastics, and then we're gonna talk about a little bit like how we use martial arts too, and how we use the martial arts in our workouts. Okay, so what you can say me about like fundamentals in gymnastics, Coach Manny?
Gymnastics as discipline is one fundamental. If you think wrestling, running, and gymnastics is part of the root of the movement, and I believe the movement is a medicine from different perspective, for any perspective.
Nice. So, Kevin, what do you think about fundamentals in martial arts? What you can say me about the martial arts in the roots? What's about roots in martial arts?
Yeah, and just kind of relating to what Coach Manny said in regards to kind of finding the root. There's no machine and there's no set functional pattern that is when it comes to martial arts. It's a natural movement. And the way that we were brought up, and you know this because we were taught by the same person,
Yeah.
it's the discipline and the structure, having a foundation. And it's not so much about like like what we see right now, especially in the industry of kind
Yeah.
of taking in more on the commercial side. Is you see people doing this, doing that, and it's the most broadest thing in the world. It's kind of stepping back and going to the regression and
Yeah.
finding what fundamentals you've had. Martial arts is all about that, kind of finding something within yourself, and exterior, it's secondary.
Yeah, it's perfect. So it's not just about movement. It's like how you connect your mind, your body, and everything, and just put it in. It could be in a workout. Right now, I'm working in a workshop, so I'm gonna share with my people in Ecuador about fundamentals, because Kevin says is the fitness industry is now is focused in business, and there is a lot of new classes systems, and the people is just getting more injuries just for perform movements, crazy movements, just punching to the back, using dumbbells when they throw the punches. And they don't have the ability to engage some kind of muscles in your shoulder, in your scapula. So it's about how you learn about the movement and also how you perform different techniques. So yeah, for me, it's an honor to travel to my country and just share with people. It's about my experience. So, Coach Manny, we are going to talk about a little about planks. It's something like, in gymnastics about how you control your power, your middle and the power, your core. What's about planks? What you can advise me so the people is like obsessed to do core exercises and get six packs, but this is not just crunches, so it's more than that.
Yeah. Um, the core is the connection between the upper body and the lower body. If we don't have a solid core, we will have problems for any discipline and from any movement. So if we exercise or if we train, we must be focused on the core, frontal core, side core, and back core. Of course, we have to understand if the goal is to just being happy, have fun, be educated, or we want to compete. Uh, Besides that, we have to understand it is necessary to have a plan, a map,
Yeah.
responding the core questions again about when we are doing, where we are doing, who is involved, and what we are looking for. It is the most important to know what we are looking for. But we don't have to forget the core is part of the essential roots in the movement, exercise, and even in the sports.
Cool. Kevin, tell me about your experience in judo, and you are wrestling too. So, what you can just connect these exercises, these movements with the core, the core concept in judo and in wrestling.
Yeah, of course. And then actually, I'll tell a story to kind of back it up as to what Coach Manny was saying, the fundamentals of how the core and how important it is. A story about my wrestling experience. I wrestled throughout my high school career, and what many coaches and what many kind of right now, especially when it comes to wrestling, it's more about power, how strong you are, more on the outside, maintaining your proper weight, but they don't really emphasize about inside the core, how you functionally are moving. If your core is not engaged and if you're not fully moving, injuries start to happen. It's not
Yeah.
something that's it is common, especially now, and that's what happened with me. So I got into heavy lifting. I got into doing this, and they made me do stuff that was very not extravagant, something that kind of I could have actually started regressing and take it to step one, which was the core. I did martial arts my entire life, but I wasn't able to transmit that onto a wrestling. And it was movement, it was a natural, but because of how much they put me on to the heavy lifting and doing stuff that I really didn't know how to engage, and the core, the posterior, the side, I didn't realize how strong I needed to have my core engaged in order for me to start lifting heavy. And that had no fundamental pattern onto my wrestling. So if there was no connection in between, which is why there's no connection in training the core using a machine, doing crunches, where there's a functional pattern for your core to be activated, where you're
No.
standing, where you're picking something up from the floor. There has to be a connection where you do something related when it comes to gymnastics, wrestling, the karate, the judo. There has to be a very connection as to what you do. So you see a lot of, and you can see this right now when we work. You go to the gym, you see someone doing the sit-up machine,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
there's no combination, and there's no, there's actually no reason that you should be doing that. And judo is all connected. You're moving your body as one unit. Wrestling is all connected. You're moving your body as one unit. But the core that kind of sticks your whole body together, it's how good your core and how strong it is. It doesn't matter how big your arms are. If your core is not on and you're not activated, you're flying through anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, for me, it's the same. I've been teaching like for 10 years, and I noticed with the time, because you perform repetitive movements, and you produce patterns in that body that you adapt your body to different, postures, and sometimes you get more like active in some muscles. And recently, I get a really back pain issue, and I was talking with Coach Manny, and I noticed that it's my psoas is really, really tight. And I never was thinking like my psoas, because I'm really flexible. My elongation is really good. I kick really high, everything. But I never noticed like my that muscle was like pulling my back down and producing me a lot of pain in my low back. And like Kevin says, is you have to regress and see what is happening in your body and just correct some movements or some exercises or repetitive movements that you are performing, and try to find, the way you how to fix it. And it's about core, if you don't have if my core is not weak, it's just some muscles are more active than other. Okay, so I think it's all about experience, and it's easy then to just share with the people, and it's some different patterns or some issues that you get eventually in the time, or in the future could be a injury or could be no, so Coach Manny, well, about in gymnastics is, I remember when we was working with you, I was working with you, and bouncing is about like everything is core. When you start to flip in the air, the same thing when you kick in the air. So tell me something about like how is what your body needs to perform that kind of movements. Remember you told me like you gotta visualize first the movement. You got some different kind of exercises before to perform the movement. Just putting some things in your mind, some repetitions, basics, and it build it step by step, building the execution of the movement.
Yeah, as I mentioned, gymnastics, swimming, and wrestling are really special sports. Um, just because from the perspective of the center of gravity position, in swimming, you are horizontal. When you're wrestling, you just rotate and you flip. When we do gymnastics, we are totally upside down. That makes gymnastics a really special discipline. And because of that principle, in reality, we need to prepare a gymnast looking for to increase the body work capacity. And that capacity is measured by the building and development or of strength, flexibility, balance, endurance, coordination, agility. Um, Male gymnastics, we are using most of the time the upper body, and that's why we developed in a specific form.
Yeah, it's like
But still, yeah, like a triangle.
I know.
But still, we need to develop those in that capacity for the upper body, for the lower body, and most important for the core. Now, there are different styles of coaching, different philosophies, but my philosophy of coaching gymnastics right now, I am coaching in the United States, but I was doing clinics around the world, and I believe I found good coaches in my life, but I consider myself a great coach. But why is the name great? Because I made a lot of mistakes. And because of that, I consider myself an authority of coaching. But because of 99 projects in gymnastics, for me, were a mistake. But I took one. And one I call maturity. When I call maturity, that means for me the capacity to don't lie myself. When I discovered that I'm not following any school from China, from Russia, from the United States, just I understand every single athlete, every single person, every single gymnast is a unique universe. And the principles of movement, exercise, and training, it is covered every single practice, every single day. Because the anatomy, yes, it's similar, but it's not the same.
Hmm.
Yes, it's true we have to have a plan, but we have to rediscover the principle of movement and apply in a personalized program for that athlete, for that person, for that individual. So there is no magic. There
Hmm.
is no shortcuts for succeed. For succeed. No, no, no. Again and one more time, we have to create a personal plan, a personal program, a personal training for that athlete. That's why I believe we, the personal trainers in every single discipline, we are so essential if we are looking for to create a new and healthy society.
Nice. Yeah, it's true. Kevin, you was recently working at Equinox, and you get a lot of experience like a personal trainer. And Equinox is, one of the most important gyms in New York now, and they are really focused in the in personal trainer, no, and just how you help your clients to get results. It's like my coach Manny says is you gotta create a program with a specific goals for each person. So now just Kevin, tell me just what was your experience and what are you learn about it.
Yeah. So first, it as like from the professional perspective, and there has to be experiences first from your perspective. You have to do it first before you teach someone else, and you have to first understand limitations when it comes to exercise and movement. Everybody, society, culture wise, especially in New York, there is a limitation. And we are working with kind of a special population when it comes to work, society, stress, daily lifestyles. We're not really working with athletes. We're not so
Yeah.
much working with people that are really interested in, like Coach Manny was said, gymnastics is about kind of being upside down and being able to be patterned and actually adapt your body to adapt to whatever you want to impose. For now, in society nowadays, we are so caught up with how other people look and how well they move, not keeping in mind that everybody will move different. See, so right now what we kind of did it was the FMS, and FMS was created by a great cook. And his philosophy is very well known to first move well and then move often. And that teaches you seven different movements, seven different pinnacles, and that kind of addresses how well you move. If there's any muscle imbalances,
Cool.
that's what we screen you first, and that's when we create the program. And like Coach Manny was said, individualism is the most important thing in the fitness industry. Seeing every single one of our clients members as an individual person, which is why my recommendation is to one, get onto the fitness industry, but have someone that will give you what a personalized program will look like, giving you that set stone where you can start building up with the person and with the personal trainer. That way you know where you're going to be, and having that good fundamental before you go on and do whatever you like before, because injury-wise, injury prevention, it's not so much about weight loss and anything that you do. There's kind of like the patterns that work around it. It's posture-wise, muscle imbalance. So the FMS is kind of like the set in stone that we do. And from there, we kind of take on and teaching you how to properly squat, how to properly do push-up. There's a lot of kind of things that go around it, and Equinox was very well known for that. The programming, the education behind it, and modalities. That's the beauty of the fitness industry. There's no one way, and there's no one magic pill that there's going to give you the results that you need. There's hundreds. There's hundreds of ways, and which is why a lot of people now kind of go into the cookie cutter workout from Google or YouTube
Yeah.
or Facebook, and that's basically not where you want to go. There's an investment in any kind of like personal training, any kind of investment in good coaches, but that's because you're receiving the individualism, which is the best thing that you can do for yourself and time-wise too. You want to first seek no harm and then seek the goals that you like, having someone to kind of give you that step by step.
Yeah, I think that's the most difficult part now in the fitness industry is just find a good coach, because now the fitness industry is just turning to the business, and there is a lot of new personal trainers, new fitness enthusiasts, and the industry is not evolving, is in constant evolution, but is not like for machines, new equipment. It's more about education. So it's how, like a trainers, we can share these kind of abilities, skills that we have, and just help our clients to get their results. Okay, so I remember like long time ago when recently I started to work in a fitness industry, the functional training stuff was like trending. A lot of new equipment goes to the fitness industry, the TRX, sandbags, a lot of equipment that just I just was watching some classes and people doing crazy movements and just getting excited, just jumping, throwing, bouncing, stuff, just pulling ropes. But it's the same thing that we are talking now. It's like what happened with the fundamentals and the basics. Sometimes just you come one person comes to your class and it's kind of difficult just coach one person and surrounding like 15, 40 people in one class. So for us, it's a it's difficult, but that's what's happening now in the fitness industry, and the business model is changing a lot to the personal trainer coaches and personal trainer studios, because the people is just getting a lot of injuries. So, Coach Manny, what is your advice for this 2018 for the people just get excited now in January to go to the gym, new goals, everything. So what is your advice for everyone around the world?
Okay. Mine, my advice is kind of out of the box. So, first of all, what do we do as a personal trainers and professionals in the sports and then exercises, teaching the body what the brain already knows.
Hmm.
It's a principle of neuroplasticity. Uh, at any age, it's possible to change. Second, the motivation must be inside out. Nobody can help you. And if you think the solution will come from a facility, from equipment, from a fancy machine, from a program, from a diet, you're wrong. You're lying yourself. That's the biggest mistake. That's why the world it is how it is. We are looking for superficial and instant gratification, but that goal, those goals, it doesn't take the world and the people anywhere. Um, Paradoxically, in the first world, where the fitness industry is so big with facility, equipment, programs, um, nutrition plans uh, are increasing every single day, but at the same time, in the other hand, cancer, diabetes, diseases are increasing. Something is wrong there. And for me, first of all, if we want to share with our loved ones for longer, we need to be healthy. But healthy with mind, body, and spirit. If you as an individual, you are healthy, you can share more and you can be part of the solution. But again, don't look for
Mhm.
the solution outside yourself. If you change your mindset, everything will change. And of course, if you will be healthy, the society will be healthy. And we will change the principle. Everybody knows, but everybody's afraid to say. In order to have a healthy economy, it is necessary to have a sick society. We need to wake
Mhm.
up. We need to understand what is that. What means that? It starts in our table, in our kitchen, and especially here and here. And the rest is just waiting for us, just the stars.
Nice, coach. He always inspire me to to just keeping what I'm in love. It's like I'm think I'm in my way. Kevin, what is your advice for the people in 2018?
Yeah, my advice is like Coach Manny was said, it doesn't really come from an exterior motivation. You, as an individual, you have the results, you have the solution. It doesn't really come, it's not like I'm personally a life coach, which I'm not. However, an individual themselves, you understand your body, you know what is it that you need to achieve. Half of the times, procrastination is the biggest thing in our society. I
Hmm.
want to do this, but there's this kind of holding me back. So they're right now. This is the week of the New Year's resolution. My gym was probably packed with like more than we have 6,000 members. I'm pretty sure we have like 10,000 members now because it's that time of the year where motivation factor is the thing now. Everybody wants to achieve their goals. They do it for a week and then it stops. There's accountability is my second advice. If the motivation is not there for you, then accountability is something that will kind of keep you on track. And it doesn't have to be a professional coach. It's surrounding yourself with a community that you know are achieving the same goals as you are. It doesn't have to
Hmm.
be a physical goal. It doesn't have to be a fitness goal. It can be a life goal. It can be I want to be making a surrounding yourself with rich people. You're more likely to be the millionaire as well. And it happens with community. Same thing with the way that my brother and I are. That's the community that we try to bring in people that love to work out. It's not just about being a personal trainer and I'm going to make as much money as possible because it's a good career. It's about being passionate about what you want to do and having that community that will give you the results that you need. So accountability, mindset, and community are the three advices that I would give. It's finding someone that will hold you accountable to anything, your family, your friends, a coach. The mindset, it comes from you. It doesn't come from anybody else. You have the results. You have the best answer. And just ask yourself, how would that make you feel? That's what
Yeah.
I personally ask myself. And the third one is community.
Nice. We are in the same page, guys. Thank you, Coach Manny. Thank you, Kevin. And for me, guys, my advice is start to watch my Pocho Training podcast. That's my goal now. 2018 is just share with the world what we do. And, some tips, advice, the information now is in your hands, in our hands. We can just go to Google, YouTube. You can find a lot of coaches, that they are gonna try to help you. But like Kevin and Coach Manny says, is not find a coach. Is your mind, your body, and your spirit. Is your body. Is you have the ability to make you choice. You choice, and it's just you can do the things happen. Okay, so guys, it was a pleasure to talk with you, Coach Manny. It's an honor always just to talk with you and Kevin. We stay in touch, working out together, and we are creating just not a community in New York. I have my samurai community in Ecuador, and it's growing up. It's growing around New York, and we have some projects with Coach Manny too. So we are gonna create some projects this year and try to travel around, just helping people, doing some clinics about movement. And is what we love to do this. And Kevin says it's not just make money, it's just be happy and help people. Yeah, so thank you guys. I don't know if you want to say something before to say bye bye.
See you soon.
See you soon. Yeah, I see you soon in Illinois. Okay, Kevin, thank you guys, and see you in the next Pocho Training podcast. Have a wonderful 2018, guys. See you.